So in this video, we're going to go over the second method to get files from your hard drive to your server and therefore on the web. And this second method involves using something called FTP, which stands for File Transfer Protocol. This is a protocol that is used to transfer files, and especially large files, amongst the web. Now, to use FTP, you need a software on your computer to do that. And there are many out there, but we like Filezilla. So we recommend that because it's free. You can download it to your computer and it's free to use. So to get to Filezilla, the URL is filezilla-project.org. Now you can also search Google for that, but make sure you search Filezilla FTP program so you get the right site. Now this is their homepage. You can read about it if you'd like, but for brevity's sake, I'm going to tell you that you're going to be wanting to download Filezilla client. So you're going to click right here. Now the next page, you can download the Filezilla client here, but if you click this button, this says, this installer may include bundled offers. What I want to say here is, I personally do not like when I go to download software and the download includes other software that a lot of times you don't know is there. And this happens quite a bit. Here they're telling you that it may include bundled offers. And I do not want that. So I would recommend that you not do that either. Now, maybe you want some of the software that comes with this. You can try it and see if you want that software. But if not, I would go down to this option here, show additional download options. So when you click here, you're going to see all the different downloads for Filezilla. This is Windows 64-bit, this is Windows 32-bit, Mac, Linux, and others. So since I have a Windows 64-bit computer, a Windows 10 computer, this is the one I'm going to download. So I'm going to click it, and I'm going to save it to my computer, and then I'm going to go back and open it and install the files. I've already saved it, and I've saved it right here in this folder here. So here it is right here. I'm going to double click it to install it on my computer, and once it's installed, I'll come back to you. So I'm going to pause the video right now. Okay, so Filezilla is installed on my computer, and as you're going through the installation process, just choose the defaults because they're all right to choose. So once it is downloaded, it automatically opens, and this is the window you'll see. Just click OK here to get rid of that window, and now you're going to see the window here. And I'm just going to click up here to maximize the window for the most screen. So this screen is the basic screen for Filezilla, and most FTP programs look like this. They're very similar to Windows File Explorer. There are actually two panes here. The left pane, which shows the files on your computer, and then the right pane, which shows files on the server. Now, since we haven't connected to the server yet, it shows not connected to any server, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to configure the FTP program, Filezilla, to connect to the server. And once it does, then all the files on your server will show up here. And then to transfer files, it's just a simple matter of clicking and dragging them from your computer in the left pane to where you want them over here in the right pane. So that's how that works, and we're going to configure the server now. So we're going to come up here and we're going to enter information in these fields here. But before we do, let me give you a little bit of information on that. Now, as mentioned in the previous video, for this example, we're using BitReveal as our hosting company because that's the hosting that comes free with your paid membership to InDigitalWorks. So since we're using this account, that's the host we need to connect to here. Now, if you want more information on BitReveal, you can watch the previous videos, but to show you briefly, this is their homepage, and they have tutorials here you can watch for how to register for an account here and how to connect with cPanel, for instance, their control panel. And you'll be setting up username and passwords here, and those usernames and passwords are the ones that you're going to enter in here when you connect. We're going to connect here, and we're going to start by keying in the host name, which is bitreveal.com, but we're going to preface that by keying in sftp:// and then bitreveal.com. The username is this, and the password Now, if you didn't key in SFTP here, you would need to enter in port 22 here, but I'm going to enter that in anyway here. And you're going to click this and you're going to ignore this window, and here you are connected. So now before we actually transfer the files over, I'm going to go back to the zipped file that we downloaded in video number 1 because we need to do something there before we upload the files here. So going back to the file that we downloaded, called Mobile E-Commerce Simplified. It's a zipped folder, and we're going to need to unzip this, so extract these files. If I double click on this and open it, you see the files that are all here. And the files that we're going to want to transfer to our hosting account are the ones in the squeeze folder, which are all these. So going back, we're going to extract this file, and I'm on a Windows computer, and on a Mac it might be a little different, but on a Windows computer I'm going to right click and I'm going to click extract all, and then I'm going to save this in the same folder that this is in, extract. Now this will take a couple minutes. I'm going to pause the video and come back to you when it's done. So the files have been extracted. This is the extracted folder located within this folder. These are the files inside. So if I open this one up, you'll see we now have the compressed folder, and then we have the uncompressed one that's just called file folder. If I open that up, you're going to see the uncompressed files here. Now, everything in the squeeze folder is what we're going to want to transfer over to the hosting. Now, let me open that up, show you what's in here. All these files are going to be transferred over to your hosting account. However, there's one thing we have to do to this particular file called index. This index file is your squeeze page. This is your squeeze page, and what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to edit this a little bit to insert the opt-in code from your autoresponder, whether that's Aweber or whether it's MailChimp. We're going to have to insert that opt-in code into this page here so that when people sign up for your list, they're actually going to be entered into your list. Now, future videos will show you how to get this code from either Aweber or MailChimp. So after you watch those, you're going to come back here and you are going to insert it into this file right here. So let me show you how that's done. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to open up this index file in a text editor. Now you cannot use Microsoft Word or any other word processing program because those programs add embedded formatting, and if you do that, it will not work. You need a text editor. You also cannot open this by double clicking it because this is an index.html file. This is an HTML file, and when you double click it, it's going to open the thank you page in your web browser. You need to open the HTML code of the page. So the way you do that is you open that in a text editor. So we're going to right click this, and we're going to choose open with, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to use Notepad. This is the most common program that people will edit HTML in Notepad. So I'm going to choose Notepad, and it's going to open in Notepad. Here's index. It's in Notepad. This is the HTML code of your squeeze page. Now don't worry, you're not going to have to know HTML code, but this is what we're going to do very simply. You're going to come down here and you're going to find this line here. Replace code below with your code. Replace code above with your code. So we're going to take everything between those two and we're going to delete it. I've highlighted it. I'm going to press delete on my computer. Got rid of that, as you can see. Now I'm going to go back to, I'm going to get the code from either Aweber or MailChimp, and I've already done that because you'll do that once you watch the future videos for Aweber or MailChimp. I've done it and I've pasted that code in a Notepad document. So here it is. This is the Aweber form code right here, from there to here. So I'm going to highlight all this code. You can also do select all. I'm going to hit edit. Copy. I'm going to come back to my index file in here where this is. I'm going to go up to the beginning of it. Doesn't matter where you go. And I'm going to paste the code that I copied previously. This is the Aweber code. You can see it right here. Replace code below with your code. Here's the Aweber form code. Comes down to here. And the Aweber form code. Replace code above with your code. So you've just replaced the code that was on the squeeze page with the Aweber code. This is going to let people sign up to your list when they enter their information. So now we need to save this as an index.html file. So we're going to come up to File, and we're not going to click Save. We're going to click Save As, and I'll tell you why in a minute. If you click Save, it's going to want to save this Notepad file as a text file, a .txt file, and that's not what we need. We need to save this as an HTML file. So you click Save, this window pops up, and it's going to save as an index, and you type in .html after that, and it's going to be in the squeeze folder, exactly where we got it from. You're going to hit save. It's going to ask if you want to replace the file, and you're going to say yes. And now it's done. We're going to get out of that. Now here's your squeeze folder with all the files inside. This should be the new index file now. Let's make sure that it is. I'm going to open it back up in Notepad, and I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to see it is the new index file because it has the Aweber form code right there. So I'm going to get out of that. And the last way I'm going to check, I'm going to double click this file, and that's going to open it in your browser. And you can see that this is your squeeze page, and this is the opt-in form. And I can tell this is the new opt-in form also because in Aweber, I've added this information down here. Your information is 100% secure and will never be shared with anyone. So this is the correct squeeze page. So now we're done. We're done with that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to Filezilla, and we're going to transfer all these files that are in, go back here and show you. We're back to the original file folder. We're going to, in the file folder is the squeeze folder. We're going to transfer all these files that are within the squeeze folder, all these, this is your new index file, over to your host using Filezilla, and that'll be the next step, which I'm going to show you. Okay, now I'm back to the Filezilla screen. These are the folders and files on your server. These are the ones on my computer. So we're going to transfer the files over to Filezilla now. So we're going to come down here, and we're going to find the folder called public HTML. This is the folder on your server that holds all the files that are for your website and that show up on the web. The other files and folders are behind the scenes things, but all the things you're going to be doing, you're going to be uploading to public HTML. So we're going to double click that, and down here you're going to see the contents of public HTML. Now in here there's something called e-commerce 1 and e-commerce 1 zip. If you watch the method before this, the cPanel method, I created these files then. So these files are still in there. I'm just going to leave them in there for this example. But what we're going to do for this second method, for this Filezilla method, is I'm going to create another folder called e-commerce 2, and we're going to transfer all the files over there. It's just for this example. So I'm going to right click in here, create directory, and where it says new directory, I'm going to type in e-commerce 2. Okay, and now that directory is here. So now I'm going to open up e-commerce 2, and there's nothing there. All the files from my computer that we need to transfer are going to go right here. So I'm going to come over to my computer, and I'm going to find those files, and I know where they are. It's going to take me a minute to get to them. They're in my PLR folder, which is right here, and Mobile Ecom Simplified. And here are the two folders. Mobile Ecom Simplified, the file folder, double click it. Squeeze folder, double click it. These are all the files in my squeeze folder. These are the ones that are going to go in here into e-commerce 2. So I'm going to click the first one, highlight them all by holding down Shift on my computer, and then clicking the last one. Then I'm going to right click on these and click upload. and it's going to start to upload those into e-commerce 2. And you can see down here the status. If you scroll down, there's different ones that it's transferring. It's going to take a few minutes to transfer all these, even though they look like they're all there. They're not downloaded yet. So once they download, I'll get back to you. I'm going to pause the video right now. So now that these files have been uploaded, I want to show you what they are. Now these folders here, you don't really have to worry about. These are like the behind the scenes things that make your web pages work. These are the 3 pages that you're going to need, and you're going to need the URLs to, because these are the ones you're going to need to build your list. This index.html, you already know that this is your squeeze page, and I'll come back to that in a minute. This is the thank you page. This is the page that people are going to be redirected to by your autoresponder once they click submit. So it's thankyou.html. This is your product page. This is where people are going to access the product and watch the full video once they subscribe. And this is e-commerce full video access.html. These are underlines right here. The URL for all these pages is going to be your domain / e-commerce2, because that's the folder they're in, / and then the page name right here. For instance, your thank you page is going to be located at your domain / e-commerce2 / thankyou.html. Full video access page again is your domain / e-commerce2 / e-commerce full video access. Now the index page is treated a little bit differently. Index pages don't display as index.html. They always display as the directory where they're located. For instance, your squeeze page is not going to be called index.html. It's just going to be called your domain / e-commerce2, and that's it. Let me show you that right here in my web browser that I just pulled up for you. Okay, this is the thank you page, and as you can see, we're using LearnDemi for this demo, so it's learndemi.com / e-commerce2 / thank you. And your thank you page says, please check your email with instructions for how to access the video. This is your thank you page, and you're going to need this page because you're going to need to paste this URL in your autoresponder, whether it's Aweber or whether it's MailChimp. So watch those videos and you'll see where you need to paste this URL. The next page is the full video access page. And again, this is at learndemi.com, which this will be your domain here, / e-commerce2 / e-commerce full video access.html. This is your video page, and people will click play here and the video will play. This is the video they subscribed for. And you're going to need this URL because this is going to go into your first message that people are going to get in their inbox. They're going to read that message, and that's where this link is going to be located. So you're going to need this URL to paste into the first message. And again, either Aweber or MailChimp, and the instructions for that are in those videos. Now the final page is your squeeze page with your new opt-in form. This is at learndemi.com / e-commerce2. Index is not displayed. Now if you typed index here, it would display this page exactly the same, but you don't need to do that. So this is the URL for your squeeze page, and you're going to need this URL because you're going to be advertising that, and you're going to be driving traffic to this URL to get people to opt in. So back to Filezilla, that's the pages. They're all active on the web as of right now because you've uploaded them using Filezilla. So they're ready to go. Now that's the full training on Filezilla. By all means, stay tuned for the next video.